has put out this clip of her doing some pretty club dance moves, actually, in the hospital right before she gave birth to her daughter Lilibet 4 years ago. It's her and Harry. This has made big news around the world. Everyone's talking about it. It was actually just really...
And in fact, Harry actually mentions it in his memoirs, Spare, that they kind of danced in the maternity room. But it's just so unusual, isn't it? It's not what you expect to see from members of the royal family.
Meghan Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you watch it. SOT 24.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, hit the baby mama when I step into the door.
She's
I'm pregnant,
supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital.
Meghan Markle just wanted to reclaim her narrative, but instead, she walked straight into a media firestorm, viral backlash, and a South Park takedown that had the whole internet laughing, from par meltdowns to legal threats that backfired. This isn't just another Hollywood scandal, it's a full-blown cautionary tale unfolding in real time. So what really happened behind those closed doors, and why is everyone in the industry suddenly backing away? Grab your tea, because we're breaking it all down. Drama by
Baby Mama, and it's to this song, Baby Mama, where you dance around like that, and apparently that can bring on labour. So there you have it. In the waiting room, they were trying to bring Lilibet's birth on by doing that because she was overdue, but it really is quite an intimate look at a couple's behaviour behind closed doors.
We're going to stick with the Sussexes because they released an extraordinary and very unexpected video this week. Let's take a look at it before we discuss.
Mama, let me see you get calm. Baby mama, this shot's been pregnant, but...
Genuinely, it's not often I say my jaw hit the floor, but it did in this case. I mean, I've never seen a video like it.
I assumed it was sort of artificial intelligence generated, because there's been so many of those entertaining videos recently. I thought it was one of those. I couldn't believe it was them, but it is.
With the Sussexes, because they released an extraordinary and very unexpected video this week. Let's take a look at it before we discuss. Genuinely, it's not often I say my jaw hit the floor, but it did in this case. I mean, I have never seen a video like it. I assumed it was sort of artificial intelligence generated, because there's been so many of those entertaining videos recently. I thought it was one of those. I couldn't believe it was them, but it is. Meghan Markle just tried to turn a pregnancy moment into a bold promotion, and instead it turned into one of the biggest par nightmares of her career. She dropped a video she thought would feel cute, maybe even empowering, but it ended up being mocked everywhere, instead of sparking love for her Netflix series with Love. Meghan, the clip exploded for all the wrong reasons. Then came the test screening, and that's where it all really...
So I try to report the news and let people make up their own mind. But speaking as an individual, you know, that is such a uniquely private moment between you and your partner. And I can understand them wanting to do a fun video around it. The baby was late, you know, you do all sorts of things when that happens. You eating hot curries, going out for a walk, you know. But to then share that with, you know, 3 million followers on Instagram, and to know...
Like the gross disrespect to the intimacy and privacy of marriage and childbirth. You know, there are some moments that are supposed to be between a husband and a wife only. And the moments before you give birth to your child is one of them, when you are together in that room and your child is coming. And maybe you do have a fun moment. This is not how I spent my moments before giving birth, but maybe you do have a fun moment. But it's private. It's actually holy. And for her to need to make it into an ego trip, which she's clearly doing, look at me dancing, I'm still fun and I'm sexy and I have this great marriage, and here's Harry being like a normal guy, is disrespectful, I think, to the moment, to the child, and truly to like the sanctity of what goes on for any humans who are actually in that situation. She's drunk on her own ego.
But from the royals, you know, over hundreds of years, we have come to expect a certain, I suppose, decorum from them, and Harry and Meghan have definitely pushed that envelope over the last few years, and people love them for it. Other people have been critical of it, but you know this sort of goes a little bit beyond that. And then I guess it was like it came as a shock, especially when the very people you felt were supporting you were the ones who drove
couple's behaviour behind closed doors. But from the royals, you know, over hundreds of years, we've come to expect a certain, I suppose, decorum from them. And Harry and Meghan have definitely pushed that envelope over the last few years, and people love them for it. Other people have been critical of it, but you know, this sort of goes a little bit beyond that. And then I guess it came as a surprise.
They were the ones who drove you there. So she has absolutely no love lost between her and most people who may be somewhat warm towards the royal family, even if we're not big on royalty.
At first, it was just online chatter, Twitter threads, Reddit memes, the usual, but things escalated fast. Netflix held a test screening for With Love Meghan Season 2, and Meghan was front and center, mic in hand, ready to charm the crowd. But when the car rolled around, the vibe completely shifted. Someone asked about the video, not in a rude way, just real. They said it felt off tone deaf, even a little insulting to actual moms who face real struggles. That's when Meghan lost it. She clapped back, raising her voice, calling them haters and fake fans, and doubling down on her artistic vision. But by that point, the whole room had turned icy, and when she shouted into the mic so loudly that people actually flinched, that's when Netflix staff knew this wasn't just bad, it was a par meltdown happening live.
Dancing with a big belly. Harry's there too. She's kind of twerking. She's gonna twerk.
If she a baby mama, she gon' do that baby mama.
Comes Harry.
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby mama. Drop, drop.
She spreads her legs. She hikes her dress. She circles her genitals around and around. Okay. This is deeply problematic on a number of levels. Number one, here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle. We don't like you. And no amount of posting videos that you think are going to humanize you will make us like you.
You producers jumped in fast, no security needed, but it got tense. They pulled the mic from her, scrambled to do damage control. One even told the crowd the pregnancy video wasn't part of Netflix's official rollout, it was Meghan's personal project. That made things even worse. The audience realized Shed made it seem like Netflix backed the video when they hadn't, and for a lot of people that was the final red flag. Behind the scenes, total chaos. Netflix higher-ups were furious. Ted Sanderos, one of the biggest names on the platform, reportedly lost his cool in a follow-up meeting. He'd already been catching heat for keeping Meghan in the lineup. While the backlash piled up, some say he stuck by her out of pride, others say they had no choice. They'd already invested millions into With Love.
Finally, a lifestyle series starring the Duchess of Sussex is now available on Netflix. With Love, Meghan follows a former actress at home and shares cooking, gardening, and also hosting tips. The show is part of a $100 million deal with the streaming site. It was originally due to premiere in January, but wildfires in LA delayed its release.
Couldn't ignore the storm anymore. That chaotic chaos wasn't just a bad night, it was the moment everything shifted. And what made it worse, it wasn't even the first mess. Just a few days earlier, Meghan had already clashed with a different audience. She wasn't just defensive, she came off hostile when people tried giving honest feedback. But this second blow up, it went beyond bad. She completely lost control, and it was all caught on camera.
So many of those entertaining videos recently, I thought it was one of those. I couldn't believe it was them, but it is.
From non-working royal to twerking royal. Then.
Yeah.
Very good, Luke.
She's certainly gone. But Rich, I mean, look, we always want to try and be fair on this program. We want to try and present a balance. And, there'll be some people who watched that video and thought, oh, it's nice. They wanted to show something fun. They, wanted to present a different side to them. And indeed, we know that this is becoming a bit of a trend.
A bit of a trend. That footage hasn't leaked yet, but trust me, everyone in the industry knows it's real, and it's already doing damage behind closed doors. You know how Hollywood works. One wrong move, and suddenly every studio is pulling back. Networks that were once open to working with Meghan quietly canceling meetings. Some are shutting down early talks altogether. No one wants to be the next brand dragged down by drama. So now, instead of being seen as bold and headline-worthy, Meghan's reputation is shifting. She's being labeled a liability, and Netflix, they're panicking internally. They're trying to clean it all up without drawing even more attention, but it's a mess and everyone knows it. Ted Sarandos wasn't just annoyed, he was furious the second Meghan stormed off that cost stage. An emergency meeting was booked. Ted, Netflix CEO Greg Peters, legal heads, par teams, and Meghan all behind closed doors. The vibes were tense. Meghan came in looking visibly shaken, but ready to defend herself, she claimed. The pregnancy video was just creative expression meant to spark conversation about motherhood, but no one was buying it. Ted had reached his limit. He laid it all out. She was making the platform loan deaf and just plain desperate.
She's reportedly bullied virtually everybody who's ever worked for her. She can't keep a staff in London. She can't keep a staff in Montecito. She's a bully. She's obsessed with her own ego, face on television, etc., and playing the victim. So no amount of humanizing videos, even if she managed to find one, are going to work. If you actually are a good person, you don't show up at the Uvalde mass school and put yourself on camera and make it about you. You don't see photo op when you see children, which she did.
And the chaos, it didn't start with a video. This had been building for months, ever since With Love Meghan premiered. Critics dragged the first season. Viewers dropped off almost immediately. Even internally, Netflix employees were joking that they were just waiting for her contract to run out. But now the legal team was done waiting. They started picking apart her agreement, searching for any way to end it early without dragging the company into an even bigger disaster. Meanwhile, the par team had a clear task. Meghan needed to release a calm, reflective statement, something that showed self-awareness, even just a little humility, but she refused. She told them she wouldn't apologize for being passionate. She said she was tired of being silenced. That was the moment, insiders say, when Greg Peters leaned towards Ted and said the line that sealed it all: she's not going to change. And just like that, the strategy shifted. Step 1: cancel every single CA on the calendar. Any screenings that were left would still happen, but no more live appearances, no more audience feedback. Meghan's face would stay in the trailers and posters, but only because they had no choice behind the scenes, though she was already being erased from Netflix's future plans. And the biggest sign of that, season 3 talks were shut down. No big announcement, no meeting, just a quiet internal email that said it all. Development is frozen. What really sent everything downhill wasn't just Meghan's outburst, it was the ripple effect that came after. Her team started scrambling behind the scenes, quietly reaching out to other networks and platforms to test the waters for new projects. But every call they made ice cold. No one wanted to touch the drama. Word was already spreading fast, and the answer everywhere was the same: not interested. Industry folks were whispering, executives were talking about that unreleased meltdown footage, casting directors were steering clear, and some agencies even went as far as telling their talent to stay far away from anything tied to Meghan, at least until the dust settled. This wasn't just a bad moment anymore, it was a full-on reputation crash.